What's up, y'all? Today I hit a pretty big milestone, and that is that as of today, I have 800 days clean. Yeah, it feels really, really good, to be this far along in my sobriety now and to have the life that I now have. I have seriously transformed my life in every way possible. My life used to be all about just getting drugs and using drugs in every single way possible. That was the only thing that mattered to me, right? I gave up my entire family. I gave up my entire just thought of having a future, thought of having a productive life, thought of having anything good in my life. I gave it all up just to use drugs, just to have drugs be the only thing that I put all of my focus and attention and dedicated my life to. And I did this for such a good amount of my life. I mean, there was parts of my life where I was doing multiple things, but it wasn't until probably 2013 where I just became a full-blown addict, where that was all that I cared about. My family just fell by the wayside, and I put all my focus into just using drugs, getting drugs, using drugs, and living that lifestyle that came along with that. I remember back in probably 2019, I got a text message from my daughter, whom I love with all my heart. I raised her until she was, almost 12 years old. And I put, she was my best friend. I loved her so, so, so much. But once this all happened, where just my life fell apart, I didn't know how to put it back together. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know, like, how just to be okay. So the only thing that made it feel okay was when I was high, when I was under the influence. Then I didn't care that my life had fallen apart. I didn't care that my life just was so pitiful and so just not even a life worth living, that I just, by being high, it took all that away, and it gave my life some excitement. It gave my life some meaning. Even it gave my life just the feelings that I would get at those moments of being high, those feelings that I would get of an escape, those feelings I would get of just confidence, the feelings I would get of not caring that my life was falling apart, not caring that I didn't have a life, not caring that I didn't have a family, not caring that my children weren't with me, not caring about all those things. That's what drugs did for me. They took all the facts that all those things were happening, they took all of them away. But back to what I was saying, back in 2019, 2020, my daughter sent me a text message, and she said, "Are you ever going to stop using drugs so you can be my dad again?" Heartbreaking, like, to think about that now. But at that time, my answer to her was that the drug that I use, you wouldn't even know I was using it, and you can't even tell that I'm high. This is what I said to my daughter, man. Instead of saying, "I'm going to try," instead of saying, "I want to be your dad again," instead of saying all this, I just gave her an excuse why I was using drugs, and an excuse telling her why I was going to continue to use drugs. Like, it's just crazy that that's what drugs did to my mind, and that they took me away from real life in every way possible. But now what I have going for me now is I have a real life. I have a life of substance. Today alone, so today is my day off, right? I work 5 days a week, and this past week I put in almost 61 hours. This is what I do with my life now. I work really, really, really hard, and I give everything I have to my job at those moments that I'm there. I put my all into it, and I'm pretty darn good at it. I really, really am. And it feels good to be good at something. It feels good to be trusted. It feels good to be counted on the way that I'm counted on. And but now today's my day off. So what do I do in the morning? I get up, first thing in the morning. I wake up about 7 o'clock, and I try to do like this little morning routine where I sit out on my porch, I pray, I talk to our Father, I pray for a while, and then I come in and I do my daily readings. And then from there, today I had my prayer group, Prayer Warriors meet Monday mornings, and I drove my bike and I went there. Followed that, I went to my Bible study with Karen McCreena. I love her with all my heart. She's such an amazing person, and she dedicates her life to serving the Lord, dedicates her life to teaching and being there for others and teaching others, teaching me, myself, that she's done so much for me, and I consider her such a mentor in my life. And it's just amazing that is my life now. So then I went and I did those things. Then after that, I came home and I mowed my entire lawn, mowed my whole lawn. It looks awesome. I love it. And then my grandmother came up and visited. And then I spent time with her, you know, good hour, 2 hours I spent sitting with her outside my house. This is what I do with my life now. My life has substance now. My life has meaning now. You know, these are things that I never could have done while I was using drugs. I don't have time to sit with my grandmother. I don't have time to go to prayer groups. I don't have time for Bible. None of those things would have mattered to me while I was using drugs, because all my focus, all my attention just went into getting high, just went into getting a drug, whatever that was. And any point in times where I didn't have drugs, that's all I'm trying to do is get drugs, because I feel like I don't feel good at all. In the times where I do have drugs, I'm just thinking about either A, getting more drugs, or B, I'm so high that I don't even know what I'm doing anyway. So there was never a point in time where I could do anything good with my life except for just try to do drugs. That's all that being a full-time addict, that's what that gets you. And that's where your life goes at that point. So, but just to show you, like the day I had today, you know, my 800th day sober, that was how I chose to spend my day. And then after that, I had a really, really good workout, you know, and now I am making a video. I'm choosing to take my time to put this out on camera. So hopefully I can reach, even if it's just one person. You know, my videos, I haven't been getting many views at all, but hopefully that will change at some point in time when God, you know, allows that to change, and God intervenes and helps my channel grow. And once I can put the time and effort, when I'm not working 60 hours a week, I can put more effort into editing, more effort into planning the videos out, instead of just doing this thing where I just speak on the camera and then I just post it and, you know, and just hope for the best. No, there's a lot more work, a lot more effort, a lot more things I could do to put the work into that. And I understand that. And I see that wholeheartedly. I understand that. And I want to do that. I want to do that for you. I want to be able to put stuff together for you, to be able to share that stuff for you. But in the meantime, I'm just trying to get some videos out there so you can see my growth, so you can see the progress that I've made, you know, since my first video, which is what, I think this is going to be my 95th or 96th video. If you go back to my video 1 and you just see me now, just the way I look, the way I talk, the way just my life is now. You know, I'm speaking to you from this house. This is the third house I've had since I started my videos, not even 2 years ago. This is the third place that I'm speaking to you from, and it's the best place, because each place I'm just getting better and better. You know, God is providing more and more for me as I'm abiding, as I'm doing the things that are drawing me closer to Him, that are making me be the person that I am becoming and the person that people see that I'm becoming. And I love that about everything that I'm doing now. I love that just I can be this person, this light that shines, just to show everybody. Because as far as addicts go, like I really was about as bad as you could get, right? I dedicated my life to getting high. Every single second of every day, I am trying to get high, or else I am doing what I have to do in order to be able to do that, in order to be able to be high, right? And it didn't really matter, like, aside from like doing anything to hurt people, because that's one thing I never did, was I never intentionally would go and hurt someone. I would never go rob from someone. I would never take something from someone. All I did was try to lift people up, actually, because that's the person that I am, and that's the person I am in every situation, because even the lowest addict, I was still caring for other people. And that's awesome. And I'm glad that I held on to that whole time. But still, it was, you know, going to a store on any given day and pushing a cart out of that store with as much stuff as I could get, that I thought I could go trade the drug dealer to get drugs. And that's what my life was. And I would do this, you know, on a rotating basis. Every couple of days, I would go on the shopping spree, get all this stuff, try to go trade it, get a little bit of drugs, try to sell a little bit, try to do this, try to maintain. Oh, now I'm out of drugs again. Now I'm out of money again. Oh, go back to the store, go do this. And that was how I lived my life for years. That's what I did with my life. For years of my life, how am I thinking about the future? How am I thinking? You're not doing anything but surviving for that moment, for that just little bit of excitement that you get from being high at that moment. You know, my life doesn't have those big ups anymore, I guess, that I would have at those moments. But my life doesn't have all those downs now either. And now I'm able to just maintain this level of happiness, maintain this level of value that my life has now, and it feels amazing. So 800 days, baby. Yeah, it's awesome thing. I can't wait till it's a 900, 1000 day, you know, that I'm making this video. so many cool things coming up in my life, you know, as far as I'm going to be meeting my real mother, as far as I'm going to be getting married, I'm going for my driver's test, all these things I'm doing coming up so soon in the near future. They're all planned. I have them all planned, and they're all going to be within the next 3-4 weeks. So my life's getting really good, and I hope that you guys can come along for the ride. And that's what these videos are. They're just showing you the ride that I'm on, showing you the growth that I have, and showing you what life can be if you know, if you're an addict, if you're suffering, you're an addict, that your life has no value, your life has no meaning, and you're barely scraping by every day, and you're just trying to survive every day. This is only 800 days, you know, 800 days sober, and for the first 83 of them, I was in jail for. So it's not that long that I've been out of jail. You know what I mean? It's only a little bit, 717 days, I guess, is how many days I've actually been out of jail. And this is what my life has become, you know, and this is where my life is going. And it's awesome and it's amazing. And I love every minute. Me and my fiance both say all the time that we love our life so much now. We love this life that we have so much now. And it's exciting, and it does have, it's of substance, you know, and it's of meaning, and we're doing things that are meaningful, spending times with family members where it's meaningful and it has meaning, instead of everything we were doing before, which meant absolutely nothing and did nothing for us except for bring us down and make us miserable and not happy. You know, there were, like I said, there were happy moments, but overall our lives were not happy and they were quite miserable. But 800 days feels amazing. I love it so much. Thank you for watching this video. If you stayed with me this whole entire time, please like, share, subscribe, all those good stuff that you guys can do to show the channel support, so the algorithm will help the channel grow. I love you. I appreciate you. God bless you. Remember, as nice as it is to be important, it is way more important to be nice. God bless.